Welcome back to the deep dive. So we often find ourselves buried in really complex research, geopolitical treaties, biotech patents, that kind of thing.
Dense stuff.
Exactly. But today, we're doing something a little different. We're proving that sometimes the most profound wisdom comes from, well, the simplest source material.
I love this. So we're setting aside the spreadsheets.
We are. We are stepping into Winterberry Woods for a deep dive into a single beautiful short story, The Polar Bear's Magical Winter Tea.
Or, as it's often called, the Polar Bear Tea Party.
Yeah.
And, our mission here is really to get beyond just the plot points. We want to quickly absorb the story, but also pull out that core lesson about friendship and what inclusion really means. It's a way to get at why this simple tale just resonates so powerfully.
I think that's a perfect way to frame it. Okay, so let's start the journey. It all begins in a place called Maple Hollow.
And the scene is just set so perfectly. You've got snow drifting down like powdered sugar. It creates this pristine, almost magical world.
It really does. And we meet our three main characters, Mia, Max, and Harper. They're just on a class nature walk, enjoying the quiet of the woods.
And that quiet, that pristine setting is so important because it's a blank canvas. You expect them to find normal things.
Rabbit tracks, maybe a deer.
Exactly. But what they find just completely breaks with reality.
It really does.
Yeah.
They see something that's just, well, it's impossible. A trail of delicate teacup prints.
Right in the snow. Tiny, perfect little circles where only paws should be. It's this wonderful little injection of magic.
And then Max, who seems to be the observant one, he goes a little closer.
And this is the key detail. He picks one up, and he realizes this mystery isn't old. It's not a forgotten clue.
The cup is still warm.
It's still warm. And that one detail, that warmth in a world of cold, it just changes everything.
It really does. It stops being a nature walk and becomes an active chase, doesn't it? The magic is happening right now.
Precisely. If the cup were cold, it'd be a historical find. But a warm cup means the magic is still brewing. Literally, it's just around the corner.
Okay, so this is where the excitement really starts to build. Suddenly, there's this rumble. Not a scary rumble, but a soft, deep sound.
A thump. Thump.
Thump, yes. And out from behind this huge, snow-covered pine tree emerges this giant white furry figure.
A polar bear. I mean, the sheer size of her is meant to be a little startling at first.
Well, the story immediately disarms you and the kids.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just a bear. This is Princess Pawsworth.
And what an entrance.
Oh, it's amazing. She's huge, yes. But she's wearing this elegant pastel pink bow tie.
And holding a matching teapot.
And she bows with this incredible sort of comical grace. Her voice is described as big and friendly, and she just invites them to her party.
That visual is just so important to the story's message. You have this powerful animal defined by things that signal what? Delicacy, hospitality.
Yeah, and intention. It's like the story saying, don't judge my capacity for kindness just by how I look.
Exactly. And then the sensory details just keep coming. Any tension just dissolves because of the scent of the tea.
Oh, you have to tell them how it's described.
It's peppermint marshmallow with a hint of cozy.
A hint of cozy. That's my new favorite ingredient for everything.
I know, right? It's irresistible. And that's why Mia accepts the invitation right away. But once they settle in, that's when Princess Pawsworth reveals her surprisingly sad backstory.
She confesses her biggest problem, and it's something I think everyone can understand. She's lonely.
Deeply lonely. She throws these incredible parties every single winter, but nobody ever comes. The party is always empty.
And the reasons are so relatable. It's not that the other animals dislike her.
No, not at all. It's more like exclusion by omission. The penguins are too busy sliding, distracted by their own fun.
And the Arctic foxes just forget to RSVP. It's the kind of loneliness that comes from just being overlooked, which feels so much more painful sometimes.
It really is. It highlights that universal fear of putting in all this effort for something wonderful, only to have it completely ignored.
But because the children are there, because they stepped into that empty space, we get to see the magic she had prepared all along.
And it is pure magic. The party setting is just a dream. They're led to this glowing table made entirely of ice.
With chairs made of snow cushions. And there's this choir of little snowbirds singing welcome songs. It's completely enchanting.
And the things on the table, they aren't just objects. They're almost like characters themselves. The teapot.
The teapot is the best part.
It pours the tea all by itself.
And it hums lullabies while it does it.
It just shows how much thought and heart she put into creating this perfect, welcoming space.
And the treats, The marshmallows apparently dance into the cups like little fluffy ballerinas.
And the sugar cubes stack themselves up into these tiny, intricate little snow castles. The whole world is animated by her desire for company.
We should also mention the humor. The cookies tell jokes.
Polite jokes.
Very polite jokes.
Mm.
The example is, why did the cookie go to the doctor?
Because it felt crumby.
It's just so sweet. It shows she's thought of everything.
You'd think with all this magic and laughter, she'd finally feel secure. But even in this perfect moment, she's still wrestling with those deep-seated fears.
Yeah, and this is maybe the most important moment in the whole story. Princess Pawsworth just sighs, and she tells them what she's really afraid of.
She wishes for more friends, but she worries she is, and this is the quote, too big or too loud or too bearish.
Let's just pause on that phrase for a second. Too bearish. It's such a powerful way to talk about social anxiety.
It really is.
She's worried that her very nature, her size, her voice is who she is the reason she doesn't belong.
It's a brilliant metaphor, isn't it? This massive polar bear feels like she just takes up too much space. She has all this elegance, all this kindness, but she's afraid her fundamental self is a flaw.
So that raises the central question of the story. How do you overcome that fear of being too much for the world? And the genius is that the children, with no magic at all, are the ones with the answer.
Absolutely. They completely reframe the problem. It's not about her being too bearish. It's about the community's actions or inaction.
Mia has the first insight. She says maybe friends just need someone to invite them.
Which is so simple but so profound. The problem isn't your nature. It's that your invitation isn't getting out there.
And then Max adds the other piece of the puzzle. He says some friends just need a little courage to join the fun.
Which is also true. He validates the shyness of the other animals. I mean, joining a party hosted by a giant polar bear could be a little intimidating.
So you need both things. The host has to invite, and the guest needs some encouragement to say yes.
It's the perfect formula for fixing a lonely situation. And the story doesn't just talk about it. The kids immediately take action.
Harper just takes charge. She doesn't ask for permission. She cups her hands around her mouth.
And she just shouts the simplest, most powerful invitation you can imagine into the quiet woods.
Tea party. Everyone's invited.
That's it. That one shout, that's the turning point. It transforms this one specific party into a real community event.
And the response is immediate. The woods start to rustle, and all these different animals start to emerge, drawn by the clear, universal invitation.
And it's really important who shows up. It's not just a random collection of animals.
No, we see the shy Arctic foxes, which proves Max's point about needing courage.
We see the wobbly penguins. Maybe they represent a little social awkwardness or clumsiness.
And the fluffy snow bunnies, who are naturally timid.
Let's not forget the polite, snowy owl who's wearing glasses, a character that might represent someone who's a bit more reserved or intellectual.
And my favorite, the moose, who shows up and apologizes for being late.
Yes, that's the perfect touch of humor. It just shows that everyone, no matter how big or shy or wobbly, was just waiting for a clear signal that they were welcome.
Princess Pawsworth wasn't too bearish at all.
Not even a little. Her party was exactly what the forest needed. It just needed that final open invitation.
And this gathering is the emotional peak of the story. Princess Pawsworth is surrounded by all these new friends. They're sipping tea. They're laughing at the crumby cookie jokes.
And the book says she beams so brightly that her fur sparkles like diamonds.
It's such a beautiful image. It's the physical manifestation of her joy. Her voice, which was trembling with insecurity before, is now trembling with happiness.
And she says the one thing that confirms it all. This is the tea party I've always dreamed of. The dream wasn't the magic teapot. It was belonging.
So if we're going to synthesize the moral for you, what's the core takeaway here?
Well, I think it boils down to two things. First, that loneliness is often solved by simple, active kindness, just extending that invitation.
Even if you're scared of being rejected.
Exactly. And second, that inclusivity isn't just a passive thing. It's about actively acknowledging that everyone, no matter how different they seem, really just wants to feel valued and included.
It's a lesson in taking responsibility for the health of your community, whether that's a classroom or an office. We all have that power.
We do, and the text says it perfectly. When you open the door or, the teapot friendships start to bloom, it happens when the host provides the intention and the guests find the courage.
And as the story ends, all the new friends promise to come back every winter. And Princess Pawsworth leaves them and us with one last beautiful piece of advice.
She says, "Remember, darlings, a warm heart melts even the coldest snow."
It's a perfect summary of the whole theme. that genuine warmth can overcome any kind of cold, isolated environment.
What a beautiful journey, from those mysterious little teacup tracks all the way to this joyful, sparkling celebration.
It really is. It's a testament to the power of a simple, universal invitation. And just as importantly, the courage it takes to accept one.
Absolutely. I mean, think of the courage it took for Princess Pawsworth to keep hosting parties even when no one came, and the courage of those shy little animals to finally step out of the woods.
And that really brings us to our final thought for you this week. Given how much transformative power was in Harper's simple shout, think about the world you're in. What simple universal invitation could you extend this week to a colleague, a new person in your neighborhood, maybe someone who just seems a little quiet, to help them feel genuinely included?